Yokoso o ashitare. Welcome back to another fantastic story from ancient Japan. Specifically, this story is about a Buddhist priest with the power to see the future. And with how this story is written, I am going to split it up into two parts. So they're both going to be fairly short, but still pretty good. This is a very interesting story. So part 1. Once upon a time, imawa mukashi. There was a Buddhist priest by the name of Tojo. And Tojo had this uncanny ability where he could look at a person or hear the things that they were doing, the things that they were saying, but just by being in the presence of people, he had the ability to predict their futures. He could tell if their lives were going to be long or short. He could tell if they were rich or poor, or if in the future they would become rich or poor. He could also tell if they were fated to ascend to higher positions of authority, or if they were going to fall down to lower positions of disgrace. And he could tell all this, and did tell all this, and was more than happy to teach the people and tell their fortunes for them. And when he told people their fortunes, he was never, ever wrong. Everything that he predicted always came to pass exactly as he said. And because of this, everybody in the capital wanted to speak to Tojo. Everybody wanted to have their fortunes told. Everybody wanted to know what was waiting for them in the future. So religious people, lay people, men, women, old, young, didn't matter. Everybody wanted to know their futures, and they came to Tojo to have their futures told. But one day, our friend Tojo was out running some errands. Or I don't know if it was errands in particular, but he was on his way somewhere. And he happened to be passing by perhaps the single most important gate in the entirety of the capital, the Suzaku gate. And it was a nice day. The weather was decent. The birds were chirping. The sun was out. And everybody was enjoying themselves. And sure enough, there was a group of people just underneath the Suzaku gate relaxing. We don't know what they were doing beforehand, but they were just kind of hanging out, probably reciting some poetry, maybe passing around a few drinks, but they were also just enjoying life. Things were swell. But as Tojo was passing by this gate and he looked towards these people who were relaxing beneath its shadow, he suddenly got a serious premonition that everyone sitting under this gate was fated to die, quickly, suddenly, and without warning. And he had to do a bit of a double take. Whoa, hold on, did I see that correctly? And so he turned and he focused on them very intently, trying to discern if what he had seen, if the premonition that he had initially gotten was actually correct, or maybe he just saw something, maybe there was maybe the wind blew something in the way, or maybe the shadow of clouds passing across the sun caused him to missee something. Something had to be wrong, right? But no, sure enough, as he double-checked and he looked intently and focused, there definitely was a premonition that everybody there was going to die suddenly. And so obviously, Tojo began to question. How? Why? In what way were these people going to die? Nothing was out of the ordinary. Everything was fine. Nothing suggested that there was any imminent danger at all. His first thought was that maybe there was some sort of scoundrel, a criminal, a violent serial killer that was going to come running in and start just cutting people up. But that also didn't seem very likely. Again, there were zero signs that anybody was around with weapons, let alone anybody with weapons and an intent to harm other people. And even then, one solitary man coming running in, flailing a sword around, he's not going to be able to take out all of these people instantaneously. No, that can't be it. So Tojo simply sat there wondering for a bit, what could it be? And then suddenly he had an idea. He looked up and he saw the Suzaku gate. And there was nothing off about the gate. It seemed just as sturdy and strong as usual. But he wondered, is the gate going to fall over and crush everybody underneath it? Is that what it is? It's gotta be. So Tojo now turned his complete undivided attention to just warning the people who were sitting underneath there. And he shouted to them, "Everyone, the gate is going to fall. You must get out of there now or you will be crushed. Hurry, leave, run!" And upon hearing this, everyone underneath the gate had a bit of a different reaction. Some of the people recognized that it was Tojo who was speaking and instantly got up and began running, just taking off in any direction. Some people ran left, some people ran right, other people ran all over the place, but some of the people were a little bit slower on the uptake. And it wasn't until they saw all of their friends scattering that they too thought that it would be a good idea to make a break for it. And so in an instant, the whole party that was underneath the gate became this mass confusion. Everybody running left and right, here and there, running into each other, trying to escape, getting away from this gate. Tojo himself actually ran a few paces in the opposite direction, trying to get away from the gate. And when he turned around and looked, without even the slightest breeze, or even the softest of earthquakes, with the gate itself not rocking or rattling or moving in any way, it suddenly collapsed on one side and then fell over. The good news was that because of Tojo's warning, most of the people were able to get out and save themselves. However, there were a few who were a bit slower on the uptake, who unfortunately got caught in this collapsing gate and lost their lives, very tragically. And of course, word about this whole incident got around the capital. Word that Tojo had saved a number of people from a gate collapsing and crushing them to death. And although it was quite tragic that several people did in fact lose their lives, generally the word on the street was that everyone was very, very grateful to Tojo for saving as many people as he did, and also that his predictions were fantastic and wonderful, and everybody in the capital praised him for this fantastic ability. And that is going to end part 1 on our story about Tojo the Prediction Priest. I don't know why I like alliteration so much. It is short, and because this is only part 1 of the story, there is no end, thus is it said. That will come at the end of part 2, but this is where we are going to end this story for now. So if you liked the story, please like the video. If you want to be informed for when part 2 drops, please subscribe to the channel. And if you further want to support, please share with all of your friends, your history friends, your weeb friends, your story friends, or just your regular friends too. And I want to thank you one final time. Ito katejike no koso haberi kere. And hopefully we will see you for part 2 when that drops in about a week. See you later.